What's up guys, it's Average Joel, making average content for the average viewer, and today I want to answer that burning question that's on your mind. Should I pre-order Black Ops Cold War? Is Black Ops Cold War going to be good, and is it going to be better than Modern Warfare? Well, I just want to quickly go over some of my own thoughts about whether or not this game is good, if it will be worth your time, and hopefully to give you a better idea of whether or not this game is going to be right for you. Before we get on with it, I just want to say that if you're new here, it would be awesome if you'd subscribe. We are so close to hitting 6,000 subs and it would truly make my day. Also, if you enjoy this content, then why not give it a like? So, it's that time of year again, where last year's Call of Duty is starting to feel more stale than a nun's baps, and all of our attention has been cast towards the new entry into the series. Black Ops Cold War. Let's be honest, following the success of Modern Warfare was always going to be something that no publisher would want to do, especially when Modern Warfare changed some things up in the COD formula that have proved to be fairly polarizing amongst the community. What you need to realize going into this video and Cold War in general is that Treyarch and Infinity Ward both have their own styles when it comes to Call of Duty, and what may seem good to you may not be another person's idea of the perfect COD. In the same way that some people like petite blondes and others like lying under a glass table whilst their missus takes a massive, you get where this is going. So, the first thing that I want to talk about is going to be the time to kill. Something as simple as this can really make or break a game for some people. For example, Modern Warfare had a very quick time to kill. This meant that the majority of gunfights that you found yourself in were over very quickly and often came down to who has the best reactions and who sees who first. Now this is fine, and in some cases is exactly what a COD fan might be looking for. However, with Black Ops Cold War, we have a significantly higher time to kill. This means that from start to finish of a gunfight there is a lot more room for tactics. If you think of Warzone, which has a higher time to kill again, there is much more emphasis on good positioning, good movement, and above all being able to maintain your aim. This creates a larger skill gap in the game and allows you to be able to hone your gunfighting skills, and as a result you'll find that once you understand these core principles you'll get much better at the game, as you should find that you get a lot less bullshit deaths. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be the map design. This again is something that Infinity Ward and Treyarch have differing opinions on. In the past, Treyarch have tended to stick to maps that are very linear in design and have 3 specific lanes, and for the most part are fairly symmetrical, whereas Infinity Ward often opt for a more realistic feeling to the map, with lots of power positions and safe spaces for people to camp. The result is that there is a lot of randomness at play in these Infinity Ward games, and especially Modern Warfare, and quite often you'll find yourself being boned from more angles than if you were in a Brazzers film. Whereas in a traditional 3-lane map, the game plays out a lot more predictably with less randomness. For me, this is a massive positive because it means that my deaths are only down to my own faults and weaknesses, and not because someone has chosen to spend the entire game looking through some random window with their finger up their ass. In addition to this, if we follow the trends of the last few CODs, I'd say it's pretty safe to assume that we'll be getting some remastered maps down the line, and for me personally, I cannot wait to replay maps like Slums, Nuketown and Summit. Moving on, we have the graphics. This is where I believe Cold War might let some of you down. There is no doubt that Modern Warfare has exceptional graphics and animations. The game looks and feels extremely good, especially for a Call of Duty title. And to be fair, this has always been Infinity Ward's strong suit. The tech that they bring to the table is hard to match, and as a result, Modern Warfare was very polished and looked incredible. Treyarch on the other hand have always favoured a more cartoony aesthetic, and this can turn a lot of people off. Also, we have to take into account that they have had a much shorter cycle with Black Ops Cold War due to the departure of Sledgehammer Games and them having to step forward. This means that I would expect the game to be a little less polished at launch than Modern Warfare. That being said, graphics clearly aren't everything in these games, and to me the most important thing about any game is the gameplay and how it feels. And from playing the Cold War beta, I will say that this game plays so well and really feels like a return to what Call of Duty is to me, a fast-paced arcade shooter. My issue with Modern Warfare is that they kind of tried to take a more tactical approach to COD, but in my eyes it resulted in a really slow-paced and campy game, which for my taste was extremely frustrating. My playstyle is usually fairly fast-paced and rushy, and it seems like Cold War is doing a lot to favour that. The Ghost perk, for example, will now only work if you are moving, meaning that campers can no longer hide from UAVs by standing in one spot. In addition to this, if you fire a unsuppressed weapon, you will also reappear on the minimap like in previous titles, meaning that if you are running an unsuppressed gun, you really have to be careful because you will be giving your position away. In addition to this, you will also be able to see where the enemies are a lot easier, giving you the advantage in those gunfights. Also, the footsteps no longer sound like elephants running around the map, and the inclusion of the ninja perk means that you'll be able to run and rush with little to no holdback at all. Altogether, I believe that Black Ops Cold War has the potential to be a really good Call of Duty, and I'm honestly super excited for it. Now, whether or not you should pre-order it is totally up to you. If you still feel on the fence, then maybe it won't hurt to wait until a few days after launch. At this stage, there isn't much extra benefit to pre-ordering as the early access betas have passed, so all you'll be missing out on is some cosmetic stuff, which in the grand scheme of things isn't going to hinder your performance at all. I'm going to finish this little commentary off by saying that if you are a fan of the other Black Ops games and World at War, then in my opinion it is wise to put your trust in Treyarch. They have brought out what I believe to be some of the best first person shooters of our generation, and if their track record is anything to go by, then I believe that we are in for a very good year of COD. So that's about it from me today. Now, for the people who have watched my channel for a while, they'll know that I love to see who sticks around until the end of these little videos. So if you're still here, I'd like you to let me know by answering this question down in the comments. If you had to choose, would you rather get £1 million to never have sex again, or to get paid £100 every time you do have sex? Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm Average Joel. Peace.